Hi, welcome to this week's episode of In the Hoods. This week I want to talk about the West Village, which includes, for the purposes of this conversation, the meatpacking district. Today we're going to talk about the area between the Hudson River to the west, 14th Street to the north, 7th Avenue to the east, and Houston Street to the south. This is what I'm calling the West Village. The meatpacking district exists on the west end of the West Village and Gansevoort Street and along the river, and you can check out the map to see exactly where it is. The West Village is known for being the center of a bohemian lifestyle. That is where the cool kids always hung out. And it is known for its low-rise housing. There are very few tall buildings in the West Village. Much of the area, thankfully, is historically protected. When it was developed, it also was a victim of the push north of the population in New York City. I think it was the 1811 Commissioner's Plan for New York City, which developed the grid where our streets all parallel the East River and the Hudson River and run across. In the West Village, you have a lot of crooked streets, crooked small streets. Many of them will have numbers, but it can be very confusing because they do not run in a grid pattern at all. Preservation has been very important for the protection of this area because you have not been able to develop in this area at all. And it's kept low-rise buildings. It's kept townhouses. It's known for, its character. The West Village is also famous for a number of artistic venues. The West Village hosted what was called the first racially integrated nightclub in the United States, Cafe Society. And that opened in 1939. It was a club where there was a lot of African American talent that played there. Pearl Bailey, Count Basie, Nat King Cole, John Coltrane. It was a very special place. And the Cherry Lane Theater also is in the West Village, or was in the West Village. It was first established at 38 Commerce Street in 1924. Alas, I saw an advertisement that the Cherry Lane Theater is for sale currently. I don't know if it's sold, but it was for sale. So it may not be working as an active theater anymore. It may not have survived COVID. As you move west, the far west, for some reason, was undesirable for residential living. I'm not sure. Something has definitely changed because everybody wants to live on the river now. However, in the 1800s, this area was undesirable and industry moved into the area. And the meatpacking district is known because they packed meat. They ground meat, they packed meat. It was a huge meat market. I remember an old beau of mine going over there to buy meat in the early 1980s, so it still existed in some form then. It's known for its cobblestone streets, and some of the old meatpacking warehouses still survive, but it has become an extremely trendy neighborhood. These old warehouses are full of very high-end retailers The new Whitney Museum is really down in the meatpacking district on all the way toward the river, where the area was rezoned and there was a lot of construction, and developers were able to move in and build up. But much of the original area still exists, and it is protected. It's a lot of fun to go down there and have dinner and walk along the cobblestone streets. Be very aware of your footwear, because cobblestone streets are not conducive to 4-inch heels. But, you know, it's amazing the way our city has developed. And we need to really protect those special places.